called initially and overturned later?
I want to be really respectful about this answer, and I'll get to what my answer is. But we're talking about the wrong stuff. We're talking about officiating after a game. And, I would like to think that I would say that when the call goes against us, and certainly want to say it when the call goes for us. There's a lot of calls in a game that impact the game, and we never really try to get caught up with those as coaches and players. We try to play and coach the game to the best of our ability. There was a lot of great things that happened in that ball game yesterday, and I think a lot of people are talking about the wrong things. What they should talk about is what happened during the game and the positive things that happened for our football team, how good a football team they are, and the battle that we went through and the challenge that we went through to have to win that game.
That being said, you said you want to get that out of the way before you get your thoughts on.
Let's talk about some other stuff first.
Tony talked yesterday about purposefully throwing some passes low on his guys could get it thrown some away. Is that all part of the maturity that you've seen from the understanding of let me not screw the game up, let me not give them some momentum?
Well, I don't know if it's that mentality as much as it is the value of the football. The impact of turnovers and takeaways in the game every week is critical, and certainly in a playoff game. And I just think he did a really, really good job throughout that game, throughout the early part of the game when things weren't going well, just managing it and handling it and dealing with some of the issues. We had some negative plays. We had some sacks. He never got himself into a position where he was going to do something desperate and throw them the ball and give them a free opportunity, give them great field position. And there were some times where he didn't see it great. He saw some color out in front of him. He put the ball in a safe spot. It wasn't completed. It wasn't converted. But we moved on, and we saved that possession and saved that opportunity. So I thought he did a really good job of that throughout the game. I thought he's done a really good job of that throughout the year. And then when he gets some opportunities to make some plays, he makes them. He's done that throughout his career. I thought he did a great job of that at the end of the game yesterday.
Probably my bigger question is, earlier in his career, he was a little more indiscriminate. Probably 3 of the last 4 years, he's been really careful. Is that more just experience, or is that you pounding in his head, quit throwing picks?
Well, I think you can make an argument that he's been really good throughout his career at different times. Being a guy who can make a lot of plays but also be great with the football. And I think you can go back through the history of his time as a starter. He's done that. But I do think he recognizes the team that he has around him. I think he recognizes the guys that he has up front, the runner that we have, the running game that we have, the different weapons he has on offense, our defense's ability to make some stops, our special teams' ability to contribute. And it's not this feeling like I have to do all of this myself. And if you ever get to that point in this game, or really in any game in a team sport, that's not a good place to be, and usually bad things happen. And I think he's understood that he didn't have to do everything to make these plays yesterday. We could do it collectively. We could get a stop on defense. We'll get the ball back. We'll get a chance to go back to work and take advantage of some opportunities.
Along those same lines, you've been through a lot with Tony through the years. To win a game like that, a playoff game, can it chase away ghosts, so to speak? Can it be a springboard going forward?
Again, you hear me say this a lot, that, let's not take a global view of this. It certainly was a good day for our football team yesterday. It was a good day for our organization. It was a good day for Tony Romo. He's a tough guy. He's physically tough. He's mentally tough. He's been a damn good quarterback for a long time. And I thought he did a great job yesterday helping us win that ball game. It was a team win, but he was obviously a huge part of it to play as well as he did down the stretch and make those critical plays. I thought that was huge. Having said that, we're going to watch the tape tomorrow with the team. We're going to get ready for the next challenge. We recognize what that challenge is, going up to Green Bay against a great football team, plays really well at their place.
You got behind obviously early and things weren't going well, and in the past that's the kind of game you guys might have panicked, but you've been in those situations so much this year and haven't panicked. What was the change, and kind of what's the mentality there when you do get in those kind of holes this year?
Well, again, I keep going back to how this football team has been built. I think we've done a really good job as an organization bringing the right kind of guys in, and we have a really good young football team with cornerstone players on our team. We've solidified our offensive line. And so I think when you live in that world and understand what you have, you can start to be a little bit more patient and know that I don't have to do everything right now. I can let this game come to me a little bit. Having said that, possessions are valuable. You don't have that many of them in a ball game, so when you don't have success early, at some point you have to start doing something. And I thought we did a good job hanging in there. If you remember that sequence right before the half, we have the offensive pass interference. I think it goes to 3rd and 12, and then Tony comes right back and throws a strike to Terrence, and he makes the big run after the catch for the 76-yarder. So I thought that was a really important sequence for us in the game. Again, to overcome some adversity, be mentally tough enough to say, I'm going to play this play, that last one's behind me, and then be able to make that play. I think that it really gave our entire team a lift. You know, you kind of get off the schneid a little bit. We're on the board. It's 14-7. Let's get going now. Let's start playing our game. I think our team's responded the right way.